It's no holds barred for the Delta State government in its drive to diversify its economy, making it a land of investment opportunities. Well, today on Delta Beyond Oil, we take a look at the state's transport sector poised to attract and promote investment. From its international airports, its seaports to its road networks, we take a tour to see what these facilities have in store. I'm Onyi Sunday. Welcome to Delta Beyond Oil. The mission to create an economy totally independent from oil remains the main driver of development for Delta State, and infrastructure for all sectors of the economy is a key prerequisite. Planned special economic zones like the Cocoa Free Trade Zone, the Warri Industrial and ICT parks are just some examples of the rollout of infrastructure projects. The state's agricultural sector is another key priority going forward. For the smooth running of these sectors, the government believes a key factor must be addressed for transportation of people and goods in the course of business.
Transportation, like we all know, is very critical and a key catalyst to any emerging economy. Delta State is not an exception because without much ado, you have to move goods and services. You need to move people. You need to be able to reach partners in grand style and in no record time. Without transportation, you can't move your goods and services. Without transportation, you can't move your staff, the workforce, the human resources that is required to complement whatever you're doing. Because even if you have the money and you don't have the human resources to actually do it well for you, it doesn't work. So that informed the huge investment that has gone into transport in Delta State. And when we're talking about transport in Delta State, we're looking at the infrastructure that are on ground, the road network, our seaports, our airports, our buses, our tricycle. The governor's dream, his policy is to do what we call an integrated transport system that coordinates whether sea, whether air and land.
Delta State is seen as the natural gateway to major business hubs in the south-south region of Nigeria. It is for this reason the decision to embark on massive infrastructure projects would make economic sense. The Onitsha market in Anambra State and the Nnewi market in Enugu are prime examples of industrial and commercial centers that will be linked to Delta State. The transportation sector is seen as a driver of investment from these more developed regions.
In modern day commerce, it's all about movement of people and cargo and services, so to speak. And the easier it is to get people across, moving across borders, whatever, whether they are village borders or town borders or local government borders, and then all that, the net effect of that is spiraling of trade between these people. Because you get some people, what they have, the kind of seafood and all that they have in the riverine areas, it's different from the kind of cassava and all what we have here. So they need that, we need this, and then you facilitate the movement with them. It makes it easier, and you get things fresher. So you go to markets instead of you having to keep things, for days and end. You can get things fresh because these things are coming on a daily basis. And of course, the effect on commerce generally, apart from the agricultural side of it, can only be best imagined. I think transportation is key in the economic integration of the people. And that's what we're trying to do here.
The new Asaba International Airport is a better logistics solution for traders in the region who currently use the Lagos airport at a great cost and effort. Recently approved to receive bigger airplanes owing to its 3.4-kilometer runway, the Director for Special Projects, Austin Ayemidejo, says there's more to the airport than its runway.
You have a ramp, you have an escalator, you have a staircase. Of course, you can address the interest of every passenger, whether physically challenged or able-bodied passengers. You can address all of them. Normally, when you check in, you want to go up, you want to do your shopping, you sit down here for some time, and then there are two aspects of shopping. You either do your shopping here, or you go upstairs to do your shopping, duty-free shopping, collected your boarding pass, you don't want to go in yet, you sit here and do your shopping around. You have a cafe there, you have other shops here. We're going to allocate this space for people who are prepared to do their businesses here. And that's why we're going to have seating arrangement for passengers that are waiting for boarding. You, at a particular gate, you will be notified you should go for your boarding. That's gate B. Yeah. You have gate A there, you have gate C there. Also, when you get screened, you walk up here, and then you have the seating arrangement by the glass demarcation there, the dwarf glass demarcation, and then you have shops everywhere. You have toilet facilities everywhere. While sitting to wait for boarding, you just walk into any shop. You're waiting for your boarding, you want to look at display board, the time for your boarding. You just look up, you look here, and then you see, yes, it's time for your boarding. You're boarding to Los Angeles, you're boarding to Dubai, you're boarding to United Kingdom, you're boarding to Istanbul in Turkey. It tells you the exact time your aircraft is leaving.
Well, give us a time frame when you think, international air flights can begin to take off from here.
So soon, so soon, we just got approval for the operation for the airport to receive Boeing 737 series, and that tells me that the next stage is for us to apply for international license for us to start operating.
We know that Asaba has an international airport, which is actually still under construction. We know it's a beautiful airport. Tell us what else we don't know about the airport.
Yes, there are a lot of things people don't know about the airport. First of all, it's clear that air transportation is one of the fastest means of transportation globally. But one thing people don't know about Asaba Airport is going to be one of the most lucrative routes in Nigeria because of its strategic location. Now, apart from the fact that the people of Asaba, Agbo, Ogwashuku, Iseluku, and the other neighborhood within Delta North, patronizing the airport in terms of passengers, cargo, and whatever, you should also realize that it's a gateway to major markets in the country, Onitsha market, Newe market, and Awka. So, of course, with this strategic location, we know that in terms of passengers, it's going to be one of the best. In terms of cargo, it's also going to be one of the best because we know that bulk of cargo entering Nigeria via air, 60 to 70% of them are Onitsha and the Newe bound. Now, in terms of proximity, from Asaba to Onitsha, it's just about 15 minutes. From Asaba to Inewe, it's just about 20 minutes. So, which clearly defines the fact that this is going to be one of the most lucrative, one of the best airports in Nigeria.
A 4 million capacity fuel tank equips the airport with refueling facilities. A well-equipped and modern fire station makes the Asaba Airport one of the few Level 6 safety standard airports in the country. Mobile ambulances are parked at the tarmac to address health emergency issues when they arise. Its parking lot can also accommodate over 1,300 cars and a hangar that can house over 10 aircrafts. Uche Okpuno is the CEO of ULO Consultants, an indigenous construction company responsible for building the airport. He says the Asaba International Airport was not only built to meet world standards, but to serve as a business hub as well.
A lot of people spend, especially in Nigeria, a lot of time at airports. Now, we conceived a situation where you can even come to the airport while you're waiting for your flight. You can do other kinds of businesses. And we have made the place is not choking. The ambience is free. People can come there. It's like a relaxation place. We have so many lounges. We have about 8 lounges, different lounges. We have the VIP lounge, the presidential lounge. So we have meeting rooms, offices. If I have the opportunity of taking you around, and then you will see the kind of airport we're building. We're building a passenger-friendly airport with all the perks. The power system in the airport can provide enough, can generate enough light for all the estates around the airport, both private and government estates around there. We have a 5 MVA power generating transformer there. And if you look around, you see we have a lot of ramps. We've taken that into consideration, that so many people, now very few people come, that is disabled people. And we've taken care of them, even in our toilets, even in our lounges. We made it easy for them to access all the lounges, use the toilets, alight from the aircraft, and be taken to the car park.
Here, ticket desks, custom terminals and immigration kiosks are expected to fit in. The project has resulted in the creation of 400 jobs and another 300 more upon completion. Growing demand for services rendered here is a testament to the usefulness of the airport. The current facility at the airport has also earned it the license to function as an agro-cargo airport, where processed and semi-processed agricultural produce can be transported. The state government sees this as a huge achievement and investment opportunity for its budding agricultural sector and that of the South-South region as a whole.
What that means is that they're going to develop an agricultural cargo section of that airport, where a lot of produce, fresh, from all over, the southeast, because don't forget that airport is so strategic. It serves most of the southeast and the south-south regions, So all the kind of produce we have here, which can be gotten fresh, same day, will start being exported through that airport. Those are the reasons why that airport was envisioned in the first place and built.
We are trying to build an industrial estate, agro-industrial estate attached to it. You process agri products. Once after processing, you store there, and from there it is taken abroad for export. So, and the federal government is coming to build the cold room and the facilities that required to do that. So it's actually, you can say, if not for the fact that the airport is a world-class airport, I'm sure that kind of privilege will not come for a young airport that had just started operation just a few years ago.
With all these to its credit, the Delta State government says the Asaba International Airport speaks for itself as the model airport for the country. It prides itself, however, in knowing that it was not only designed and built by an indigenous company, but the fact that it's the cheapest airport ever built in the country at the current rate of 27 billion naira, over 168 million US dollars.
We like to always emphasize that, because we remember that that airport was maybe one of the most vilified projects we had. Because in this same country we saw when, there were tenders for a runway, for a second runway in the airport in Abuja. And I think that tender came in at, was it not 80-something billion just for the runway? And then, of course, after a lot of hue and cry, it came down to 66 or so billion. And we are saying we have spent 27 billion in all we have done in the Asaba International Airport.
The Osubi Airport in Warri is another one undergoing renovation. The Delta State government is adding an extra strip to the runway to allow for bigger aircrafts to meet the growing demand. The upgrade is also poised to make it an international airport. The movement of people and goods to ease trade goes beyond the transportation of cargo from within to outside the state and vice versa. When Delta Beyond Oil returns, we'll take a look at another means of transportation poised to meet the needs of commuters in the rural and riverine areas. The government, however, says there's much more to these means of transportation. We'll be right back.